Yes, hello students. Today we have to start the new lesson in the chemistry, acid, base and salt. So before we have to get into the lesson, we have to get to know what is the meaning of acid, what is the meaning of base and what is the meaning of salt. Yes, first one, what is the meaning of acid? Acid means which compound is having the hydrogen positive ion, so that compound is called as the acid. Keep in mind, okay, which compound is having the hydrogen positive ion, that compound is called as the acids. And which compound is having the hydroxide, it is called as OH, hydroxide minus ion, they are called as the bases, and what are salts? Which compounds may they are having sulfates or carbonates group? CO3 is the carbonate group, SO4 is the sulfate group, or bicarbonate group, HCO3 group twice, or chlorine group, they are called as the salts. These things you have to get to know, okay, to find out easily which is acid or which is base, which is salt. Acid means which compound having the hydrogen positive. If that inert compound hydrogen positive ion is there, so that is mixed with any other element, that is called as a acid. Which compound is having the OH minus, that is called as a base. Which compound has having a, whether it is a sulfate SO4 or it is CO3 or it is HCO3 twice, that means bicarbonate, HCO3 twice means bicarbonate, and chlorine, they are called as the salts. Let us take example for acids. If we are taken hydrochloric acid molecular formula you know already, is it right? That is the HCl, right? So in this we can get the H plus ion. Okay, in the same way sulfuric acid, that is the H2SO4 sulfuric acid is there, here also we can get a plus hydrogen plus ion. Okay, so if we have taken an example for a bases in the sense sodium hydroxide NaOH, or calcium hydroxide CaOH, or magnesium hydroxide, like that many more we can take. So that is the example for a bases. If you have taken an example for a salts actually, so that is sodium sulfate NaSO4, or if you have taken carbonate, that is the magnesium carbonate MgCO3, or if you have taken a bicarbonate, that is the calcium bicarbonate CaHCO3 twice, or if you have taken a chlorine, that is NaCl, sodium chlorine. Okay, so these are the example for the salts. Okay, so HCl means hydrochloric acid. You want to learn the molecular formula of the compounds and element symbol and the chemical formula of that, otherwise you can't able to understand anything chemistry. Keep in mind. Okay, HCl means hydrochloric acid, H2SO4 means sulfuric acid, sodium hydroxide means NaOH. So better you have to note down, then it is easily at the end of the timing of chemistry you can get many more molecular formula of the compounds. Calcium hydroxide CaOH, and NaSO4 is a sodium sulfate, MgCO3 is a magnesium carbonate, CaHCO3 twice is the calcium bicarbonate, and NaCl is the sodium chloride. So these are all the example for a salts, these are all the example for a bases, these are all the example for a acids. Like that many more we can give. Okay, so I'll give next later. So yes, we have to take in this the first one is acid and the bases. Let us know the differences between the acid and the bases. What are the difference we can get so between an acid and the base? Yes, the difference between the acids and the bases. So the first is the pH of the acid is less than 7. Almost the pH of the acid is less than 7. Keep in mind, that is okay, less than 7. What is mean by pH here? pH means power of hydroxyl ion. Keep in mind, what is that? Power of hydrogen ion is called as the pH. Okay, so if the pH is less than 7, that is an acid. If a pH is 7 to 14, 7 to 14, so that is called as the bases. Okay, if pH is 7 to 14, that is called as the bases. Okay, and acids, almost the acids, all the acids are sour to taste. I think you know about that tamarind juice or citric acid. I mean, lemon juice. Those are all. Lemon juice, lemon contain a citric acid, tamarind contain a tartaric acid. Is it? So those are all for a taste. Actually, they are sour to taste. Okay. So, and one more thing we can find easily, which substances is having a sour in the sense uli. Okay, so that is called as that has mainly contained the acid. Keep in mind. Okay, so whether it is a tamarind or it is a say lemon or it is a citrus fruit. Citrus means hellicaye. So anyone we can taste that is sour to taste. So that contain what? Acid. Okay, and the bases are bitter to taste. Bitter means kahi. They are bitter to taste. Keep that thing also in a point. Acids are sour to taste, but bases are bitter to taste. And these acids turn blue litmus to red. If we dip a blue litmus paper, so it turns into red. That thing also you want to keep in a mind. Okay, acids turns blue litmus to red, and bases turn red litmus to blue. Red litmus to blue. If we dip the litmus paper in a bases or basic solution, it turns that red color turn into blue, but in a acid, blue color is turn into red. Okay, what happen if we dip instead of blue color? If we dip a red not become a blue. Red itself is a red only. Okay, though if you are checking like that. And here also, what happen instead of a red color? If we dip a blue color litmus paper, blue it must lay itself, it is a blue only, it doesn't change the color. As it turns the blue litmus paper to red, and bases turn red litmus paper to blue. Okay, so that is very important. Next, so the acids conducts the electricity in aqueous state. What is mean by aqueous state? Aqueous means the acids dissolve in a water. If it is diluted means mixed with the water, then it is called as the aqueous. Keep in mind. Okay, acids, many strong acids are there. Directly strong acid, they do not conduct the electricity. When it is mixed with the water, that acids liberates the ion, because I told you everyone is having a positive and a negative. So if it is a strong acid, keep in mind, no one acid not liberates the ion. If the ions are not liberated, it not conducts the electricity. Okay, strong acid, when it is diluted, aqueous means diluted with water, mixed with water in a certain quantity, not more. That is also important. Clear? So when it is diluted with the water or mixed with the water, then it's become an aqueous solution. This aqueous solution leads to produce the ions. Those ions leads to the production of electric current. They can ask why the strong acid not conducts the electricity, because they not produce the ions. Why the aqueous solutions of the acids only conducts the electricity? Because they produce the ions. That is okay. And here bases are they are not conduct the electric current, because they do not liberate the ions even in aqueous state also. So that's why they do not conduct the electricity. Acids conduct the electricity in aqueous state, but these bases not conducts the electricity. That is very important. Okay, they not conduct the electricity. These are the differences between acids and the bases. Very important actually. Most probably they can ask you in examination. Let us recall once again what are the difference between the acids and the base. So acids pH is less than 7 and base pH is 7 to 14. pH means I told you already, power of hydrogen. Yes, these acids are sour to taste, okay, but bases are bitter to taste. Kahi hagirutte, okay, bases are bitter to taste, and acids turns blue litmus to red, but base turns red litmus to blue. And acids conducts the electricity in aqueous state, but bases not conducts the electricity in aqueous state. Okay, yes, how can we find, yes, given solution is a acid or a base, that is easy. Citric acid, if it tastes something that is sour, if it is a sour, it is acid. If it is a base, that is bitter, that is a base, that is easy. But naturally, because all the acids are we can't able to test, no? Like if you are given a hydrochloric acid, if you go to test the tongue itself, it is burn, okay, because a hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. Citrus acid, okay, that is a weak. Citric acid, is it a vinegar or tartaric acid what we are using, or the tamarind, what is there in a tamarind, that is a very weak actually. That's why we can feel or we can use in our food also. But it's hydrochloric acid and everything, they are a very strong, may it causes a skin burn or a tongue burn if you are going to taste. So what is the easy method to test actually? That is only the one thing, that is the litmus paper, to find out whether it is, or to check whether it is a given solution is a acid or a base. The thing we want to use, that is the litmus paper. Keep in mind, okay, litmus papers are called as the natural indicators. So what are indicators here? The substances which changes the colors of the acid or a base, they are called the indicators. What are indicators? The substances which changes the color of acid or a base. Okay, when we are dipping, they are called as the indicators. Here the litmus papers are the natural indicator, because I told you already, if we dip a blue litmus, if it is turned to red, that is surely it is acid, or if the red litmus turns to blue, that surely it is a base. Keep in mind that, okay. And the synthetic indicator is there, that is also changes the color. The synthetic indicators or synthetic means artificial indicators, they are methyl orange and phenolphthalein. That thing you have to keep in mind. So natural indicators are litmus paper, but artificial indicators are methyl orange and phenolphthalein. Methyl orange and phenolphthalein. These are the artificial indicators, or they are also called as the synthetic indicators. Synthetic indicators of the acid or the base, to test or to find out the acid or base. So in this, the substances whose change in acidic or changes its color in acidic or basic media, they are called as the olfactory indicator. The substances whose odor change in the acidic or basic media, so those substances is called as the olfactory indicators. What are mean by olfactory indicators? For the indicators we can add one more. One is synthetic indicator, the second one is natural indicator, and the third one is the olfactory indicator. Here the order will be changed. What is mean by order? Order it is. Order means smell. Okay. The substances whose order is changed in a acidic or basic media are called as the olfactory indicator. If it dips that substances, that order, that smell has completely changed. Okay. So good example, I think you know about that onion. Onion is having good smell actually. If we dip that is in a acid or base, that onion smell only, it has completely changed. changed, okay, or olive oil or clove oil in the sense, I think you know about that, lavangada enne and vanilla also, okay. So those order in the smell, order in the sense smell has changed when it is dipped in a acid or basic media. Those indicators are called as the olfactory indicators. Keep in mind, okay. Olfactory indicators means the substances whose order has changed in a acidic or basic media are called as the olfactory indicators, okay. And natural indicators means the substances which are changed its color, okay, naturally, that is called as a natural indicator. Example, litmus paper. And synthetic indicators means they have prepared in a laboratory to test the acid and a base. They are called as the synthetic indicator. Good example, methyl orange and phenolphthalein. And another one, olfactory indicators, the substance whose order has changed in acidic or basic media, they are called as the olfactory indicators. Example for olfactory indicators, that is onion, clove oil or vanilla, anyone we can take. Onion, clove oil in the sense I told you already, lavangada henne and vanilla. Example. These are the examples for the olfactory indicators. That thing you have to keep in mind. And next, how do these acid and a base or react each other? This acid and a base react each other, form a salt and water. Keep in mind. So if any acid and a base is combined each other, form salt and water. If acid is reacts with base, any one base, that forms what? Salt and water. So this is the word equation, or you know already in the first lesson only. Is it a? So any one example you have to take for acid. If you are taking hydrochloric acid, that reacts with the base, that is the sodium hydroxide, NaOH. NaOH is the sodium hydroxide. The name is very important. Concentrate on that. HCl is the HCl. Cl is the hydrochloric acid. NaOH is the sodium hydroxide. That form sodium chloride, NaCl. I told you already, if it is having a Cl, that is called as the salt, and water will be formed, or water will be liberated. Check once it is balanced or not. You can get the answer. So here hydrogen 1 is there, here also hydrogen 1. So 1 plus 1 2, in a product side hydrogen 2, balanced hydrogen. And chlorine, here 1 chlorine is there, here also 1 chlorine, it is also balanced. What about sodium? Here 1 sodium, here also 1 sodium, it is also balanced. What about oxygen? Here 1 oxygen and here also 1 atom of oxygen. Yes, all the atoms of the hydrogen, chlorine, sodium and oxygen as balanced, so not necessary to balance itself, it is a balanced, okay. Keep in mind what happen if a acid and a base react each other. If acid and a base react each other, form a salt and water, okay. So in the same way, how do metallic oxides react with the acid? Actually, if the metallic oxide, any one metallic oxide in the sense if it is mixed with the oxygen, any one metal, if copper is mixed with the oxygen, that forms cuprous oxide. If zinc is mixed with the oxygen, that forms zinc oxide. If magnesium is mixed with the oxygen, that forms magnesium oxide. Like that, these are all called as a metallic oxide. Metals are mixed with the oxides, that is called as a metallic oxides. In the same way, if an acid reacts with any metallic oxide, if acid reacts with metallic oxide, that forms also the salt and water. That forms salt and water. That is also important. If you have taken any one example for acid, that is, let us take hydrochloric acid. If it is mixed with any one metallic oxide, you have to take cuprous oxide. That forms, so here double displacement, I think you know about that. Double displacement reaction will takes place, right? Is it I mean Cu join with Cl, so that's form CuCl2 plus hydrogen comes and forms the oxygen, combined with the oxygen, that forms the water. I told you already, if it is a chlorine, that is a salt, right? Is it So check once, is it balanced or not. This equation, here one atom of hydrogen is there, here two atoms of hydrogen, so not balanced, is it? So in a reactant side one atom of hydrogen, but in a product side two atoms of hydrogen. Hydrogen only not balanced. Even a chlorine also not balanced. Here one atom of chlorine, here two atom of chlorine. Here okay, copper will be balanced. Here one atom of copper, here also one atom. What about oxygen? Oxygen also balanced. Only want to balance with hydrogen and chlorine. So two chlorines are there. So let us put 2 here. May it is balanced now, right? Is it a? Yes, 2 atoms of hydrogen. Here also 2 atoms of hydrogen, and chlorine 2 atoms of chlorine. There also 2 atoms of chlorine. Yes, it is balanced. Keep in mind, if a acid reacts with metallic oxide, any metallic oxides, that forms salt and water. Like that many we can write. If we are taken a sulfuric acid, that is the H2SO4 plus reacts with any one magnesium oxide. Try with that, try with any, with more examples, then you can get very easily actually. So that forms a magnesium combined with sulfate, that forms GSO4, that is also salt, because I told you already. So which are ends with sulfates, they are called as a salts. GSO4 plus water, salt and water will be formed. Yes, check it is also balanced or not. Check yourself. Yes, hydrogen atom 2 here, and here also 2. It is balanced. Sulfate, sulfur, yes. Here also yes, it is also balanced. Oxygen here 4 plus 1 5. Here also 4 plus 1 5. Balanced. Mg1. It is balanced. Not necessary to touch. So like that you can try with many examples. Still many are there. Even for this also you can try. For this also you can try. Then it is easy for you to write the equations, to write everything. So then you can remember for the more time the molecular formula of everything, and you can write even in examination also. You can write your own if they are asking. Okay, so that thing you have to keep in mind. So tomorrow I'll explain you about the other thing. Okay, so I think hope you will understand till to this what I taught you. So thank you all.